What is up, guys? It's Pedro here, and Juan will be here in a minute. But meanwhile, I'll say hello to some of you guys. And in today's stream, it's almost all gonna be about this upcoming draft. We'll talk a little bit about what Alex Smith had to say, but mostly will be like all about the draft. So let's say hi to some people. What's up, Winter Nation? What's up, Garrett? What's up, Eclipse? What's up, Justin? What's up, James? What's up, King Sean? Shout out King Sean. Check him out on YouTube. DeQuavis, James already. So, Will, and yeah, that's it right there, Mike and Enigma. So, let's go ahead and we'll talk about the Alex Smith situation for a little bit. I'll, quickly touch on that before Juan comes in. And when he comes in, we'll talk a lot about it a little bit more. Um, so let's start with what we're gonna do at 19. In the comments, in the chat, right? In the live chat, what do you guys think we're gonna do at 19? What player do you think we're gonna pick? Go ahead and put that in the chat, and I'll read some. Personally, for me, I think it's gonna be a linebacker or a tackle. Unless something crazy happens, unless one of the top three wide receivers fall, unless one of the unless an elite prospect falls, I think it's going to be a tackle or it's going to be a linebacker. Some of the linebackers that I think could be in play at 19 would be Jeremiah Uso-Koromoa. Jamin Davis may be a little. I think 19 is a little bit too early for him, but maybe a little bit later if they start trading back. I think that's definitely an option, and that then at tackle, Christian Darrisaw at 19 would be solid. Also, Elijah Vera Tucker with tackle slash guard would be another option. Let's read some of what other people are saying. Jamin Davis, Jeremiah Uso-Koromoa, J.C. Horn. I would be okay with a cornerback. I would prefer another a linebacker or a tackle, but I would be, if Patrick Surtani's not going to be there, but J.C. Horn, even Caleb Farley, I would consider at 19. But if Darrisaw is there, I really, really want Darrisaw. I know a lot of people think our tackle situation is fine, and Cornelius Lucas was good last year. He was good last year when he played. The problem is he didn't play that much. He played, I don't know, 5, 6 games, or maybe a little bit more, but he didn't play that many games. He got hurt twice last year, and he's not under contract for a long time. And who knows if this play by him is sustainable. Also, tackle is the second to third most important position in football. So whenever you can make an upgrade, I think you do it with the first round pick. That's 5 years of control. Also, tackles have the highest hit rate out of any position in the first round. I think it's like 60% of the time they sign their second contract with a team. A position like receiver, it's 27%. So that just shows you how, tackle's one of the safest picks you can get. So let's see. Someone asked, do you think Zaven Collins is an edge? Now, I don't necessarily think he's an edge, but I don't think he really fits with our scheme. A lot of people think he's going to be more of a 3-4 guy, like he fits more in a 3-4 scheme. And if that's the case, obviously we play a 4-3, and yeah, he's at 270 pounds, so that's a lot of weight for if he like that's more of an edge rusher's weight than an inside linebacker. Like, let me look up, a lot of people earlier on in the process were comparing him to Anthony Barr. So I just want to see what Anthony Barr's weight is, just to compare. So yeah, Anthony Barr's 247 pounds. So Zaven Collins at 270. I don't know if he would be the guy at linebacker. I personally would not take him at 19. That's just me though. And yeah, Vikings could take Darrisaw. Chargers could take him. So maybe they would trade up from. I doubt it, but who knows? Out of these players, let me know in the comments down below, who would you take Elijah Vera Tucker, Jamin Davis, or Zaven Collins? Put that in the chat, and we'll start doing a few mock drafts here in a second before Juan comes in. But out of those three, Jamin Davis, Zaven Collins, and Elijah Vera Tucker, who are you taking at 19, or even if you trade back out of those three? Let's see. Okay, so Eclipse said Elijah Vera Tucker. Winter Nation said Jamin Davis. Tyler said Tucker. What's going on, Tyler? I probably would go Elijah Vera Tucker. I think Jamin Davis is a great player, but I think at 19, that's a little bit too rich for me. If we trade back and got Jamin Davis plus maybe like a third round pick, that would be perfect. I think Jamin Davis in the late first would be good. I think 19 though is a little bit too early. And with Elijah Vera Tucker, you kind of get some positional versatility. You can start him out at tackle, and if that's not working out the way you want it to, he can be a very, very good guard in the NFL as well. So I think that is also another safe pick out of those guys. And Jamin Davis, I'm almost leaning more towards I am. I'd rather pick Jamin Davis over Zaven Collins wherever we're drafting. I think Zaven Collins might be the better player, but he doesn't really fit what we want to do. He fits a 3-4 scheme, and he's more of a outside linebacker and kind of edge guy. Like, he can still cover really well, but whatever team drafts him is going to use him off the edge a little bit as well. So we'll go ahead and start. We'll do a quick, let's go just to warm up a little bit. Let's do a 3-round mock draft just real quickly till Juan comes in. Let's see. Let me just do this right here. And I'll kind of let you guys pick a lot of these. I won't necessarily do what I want to do. We'll more do some fan mock drafts. So let's go right here, see where we're at. So somehow Trey Lance wasn't picked till 19. Trey Lance wasn't picked until 19. I mean, you look at let's see how realistic this was. Okay. First 3 picks, very realistic. 4, 5, pick 5 isn't realistic, but they wouldn't be picking a quarterback. So let's see which team ended up picking. I mean, I guess it's somewhat realistic. There's just going to be a team that jumps up a little bit to get one of these guys. So obviously, the pick here is very, very obvious. No way it's going to happen in real life. I think the farthest Lance or Fields, the farthest they will drop is to the 15th overall pick. I think Mac Jones, if he doesn't go 3, he could. He probably won't, but he could fall to 19. But I think the farthest Lance or Fields would fall is to 15. We'll go ahead and take Lance. I think that's obvious right there. And we'll see. Even though I think John Keim even kind of said it in his podcast yesterday. He thinks that Washington is more likely to trade up for Justin Fields than Trey Lance. He doesn't think that they would trade up for Trey Lance at all. But obviously, if he was there at 19, I think they definitely would consider doing it. So let's look right here at this, in the second round. So Landon Dickerson is available, but he is going to play center. So I don't think that really makes sense. But I do like Dylan Radnus, who a lot of people are, projecting now to go in like the late first, possibly till our pick, late first, mid second. So right here, I would like Dylan Radnus right here. Fills a position in need, helps protect your quarterback of the future who you just drafted. And there's really not any great players besides him available. Chaz Surratt. You got, let's see, Jamar Johnson. But I think tackle right here would be the pick. Let's see what the best. Let's see. Yeah, so I think tackle would be a good pick right here. I think Jalen Mayfield is going to go a little bit lower than most people think. I think he's probably going to go in the third. second or third, but I'd rather go for Dylan Radnus out of North Dakota State, and you know what that it means, right? We're pairing him with Trey Lance, who they both went to the same school. So I'm gonna take him right here. Let's see, read some of the comments. Would you trade up for Fields if he's at 19? I or if he's at 9, if he's at 9. If they like him enough, I definitely would do it. 9 isn't too much of a jump. Um, yeah, if you're just giving up like a first and like a second or third, no, no. If you're giving up like a first and like a third maximum, like besides this year's pick, then I'm okay doing it. But yeah. Yeah, Jeremiah Wisto-Cornmo or Darrisaw would be good value at 19. So right here, we're in an interesting situation. So we could go tight end here. Let's see the best safeties available. Um, Richie Grant. I like Richie Grant in the third would be good value for me. Really would be some good value. I want to see the best tight ends available because we want offense with our first two picks. So I think it does make sense to go defense right here. I like Tommy Tremble, but I do think, I mean, we haven't gotten a linebacker yet or a safety. So I think let's see the best linebackers available. We could go Pete Werner or we could go Richie Grant. What do you guys think? I want you in the comments. I know I like Tommy Tremble, but I think there's some other tight ends we could go later on. And who knows if he's there with our second pick. So let me know in the comments what you would do. So let's see. Yeah, I mean, I would not mind Ono if we ended up trading up, a little bit, a couple spots to get Micah Parsons. But I'm not willing to trade up, I'm not willing to trade up like into the top 10. That's too early for me. So let's see. And yeah, what do you guys think? Richie Grant or Pete Werner? But yes, if Tommy Tremble is available with our next pick, I think I will take him. But yeah, I'll go Grant. I'll go Grant. I think that's better. And we'll see what linebackers are available with our next pick. So I'm gonna take Richie Grant. And then we'll go from there. So took Richie Grant. A few picks later, let's see. Is our guy available? I think he is. Let's see. Did someone take Tommy Tremble? Who took him? Oh, Dallas took him. The pick after us. Okay. So I okay, so we could go linebacker here. Those are the best two players available. Chaz Surratt and Pete Werner. I do think they like Pete Werner, so I think that would be more realistic. They're interested in him. That's also some chemistry with Chase Young, obviously, who played at Ohio State. Let me know in the comments what you would do. But either one I'm fine with. Let's see. Surratt. Yeah, I mean, either one's fine. We'll see where they end up. I think they're both going to be taken in the third round. Both would be good picks. We definitely need another linebacker. Let's go look at the tight ends available. I just want to see Hunter Long. That's way too early for him. So we'll go linebacker here definitely. Just want to hear what you guys want to think. Okay, everyone who wants Chaz Surratt. So we'll go ahead and take him. And let's see. Okay, I think that's since we're only doing 3 rounds. I think that's it for the first mock draft. We'll do one more before Juan comes in here. Let's see. All right, so let's look at our picks. Okay, if this were to happen, what would you grade it? Trey Lance, Dylan Radnus, who protected Trey Lance, Richie Grant, and Chaz Surratt. Go ahead, put that grade in the live chat. Part of those picks were me, and some of them were you guys. Um, so let's see. Okay, I think we got Juan Gotti in here. Let's see. So let me add Juan in the stream. What's up, Juan? How you doing?
What's going on, bro? Appreciate you for having me on. What's up,
Yeah,
everybody?
no problem. And just to let you guys know, me and Juan worked on a mock draft, so that's gonna be out on his channel in the next couple of days, right, Juan?
Yeah, I think probably Monday or Tuesday it should be out. I finished editing the video, but I do have a couple more videos that I'm working on, but before I drop that one, so it's coming out soon.
Yeah, so make sure you guys check that out. It's going to be out, probably Monday. Like Juan said, it was a good video. We did a full 7-round mock draft, so should be a good one. And someone, if there's a mod in here, can you guys get Juan's link in the chat? So yeah, we'll do a couple, kind of fan mock drafts. Let the fan decide what we want to do at 19 or the full first round. But real quick, I want to get your reaction to the Alex Smith, story that came out on, I can't remember what day it was, on Wednesday or whatever. What are your thoughts on that?
Honestly, I saw the story and like I saw like I glanced at it. I didn't even, and I seen like the what is it, the like the person of the article that had the quotes in there, but I really didn't read it. So I honestly don't even know like what he said, but I know it was like backlash or like like trying to downplay the team and blame the team, I guess, for not giving a fair opportunity. If someone can say in the chat what he actually said, because I honestly don't know. But I know it's not good. And I mean, I really don't care. Like, I appreciate everything you did for us, but whatever you said, like, you can't be mad at the team for moving on. I mean, you clearly weren't able to play a full 17 game season, and what more do you want from us to do? We're doing a smart business move by moving on from you. So I mean, I don't know what he said. Like I said, I really didn't read the article. So if you could tell me what he said, I can give a better answer. But honestly, I really don't care.
Yeah, I mean, basically, it was a lot of the same things that he said in the other article with some added stuff. Like, I think his dad said, like, we sabotaged his comeback, which is just total BS because, like, we we didn't need to let him play at all. We didn't need to let him play at all. We basically paid him $25 million the year before to do rehab, which is cool and all. I mean, he was under contract, but we owed him really nothing. We put him on pup in the beginning, which upset him apparently, and then he was upset because we put him through extensive hardcore drills in the off season, and he was upset that we pushed him too hard. But I think, and he said like we were trying to quote unquote break him, and I think part like the coaching staff was pretty much trying to see if he could play or not because they didn't want to put him on the field if he wasn't ready. And then my only thing is that I just don't like, I respect him and it's not that big of a deal, but I don't really understand why he's continuing to do it. Like continuing to like try to bash the organization when like he just retired this week and this article comes out like 2 or 3 days later. I don't understand that. Like there's no potential gain for Alex Smith in this situation, bashing the organization. And it's kind of just, I wouldn't say it's taking away from his comeback, but a lot of people, like at least Washington fans I've seen on Twitter, like just switch up on him. Like they're changing how they felt about him, and it's because of what he's done. And I'm sure he doesn't care. And like some people in the chat said, it's not a big deal at all. He got us to the playoffs. It was cool and all. But yeah, I'm not really sure why he said those things. And I honestly think that, and we won't talk about this too much more, but I think that part of the reason why he really got upset is I think he wanted to start in that playoff game against the Buccaneers. Like, I really do believe that. And I think he was upset that he wasn't able to start that playoff game. That's just me. And I think obviously Washington made the right decision in not starting him because he looked awful, at least mobility wise, in that Eagles game. Would have been worse against the Bucs in that defense. So yeah, not that big of a deal. we'll move on. And we just finished, a quick mock draft here. You can see right here we got Trey Lance at 19. He fell to us at 19. Then we got a tackle, Dylan Radnews, and then Richie Grant in the third, and then Chaz Surratt in the third as well. So we'll go ahead and do a couple more, quick mock drafts. Juan, what do you think is going to be the biggest surprise this draft for the Washington football team?
For our team and specifically, I think the biggest surprise would be for a lot of fans, honestly, not seeing us take a quarterback. Not in my eyes, and I don't think in your eyes too. I mean, we discussed this the other day, but a lot of fans are banking on us drafting a quarterback, whether that's Trey Lance, whether it's we trade up for Justin Fields or he falls us, whatever, or Kellen Mond, whoever in the second round. I think that's probably going to be the biggest surprise is us not getting a quarterback for some fans. And another thing that I could say would probably be a trade back scenario, but I don't think would be a surprise because I honestly would prefer us to trade back more than us to trade up. And that's just my opinion because I would not be mad if we trade up, but you guys know I don't want to. So I would prefer to actually trade back and actually gain than actually have to give up and move up, if you know what I'm saying. But yeah, that's what I think that's my biggest surprise is a lot of fans are going to be surprised that Washington might not take a quarterback after the first round.
Yeah, and I think I was thinking they're probably going to take a quarterback at some point, a couple weeks ago, whether it be Trask, who I don't want, or Mills, or obviously maybe even one in the first. But I don't know. I think it's tough. It's probably like a 45, 55 chance. A lot of people think it's a really good chance we get one. I don't know. I think it's close to 50-50 that we draft a quarterback in this year's draft. I don't think they're going to reach and get one. But if someone starts to, fall in the first round, maybe they trade up a few spots, and same thing in the second or third. If someone falls that they like, maybe they take Davis Mills in the third, or maybe they trade down in the second round, and if Mills is there with that pick, they can take him. We'll see. But yeah, I think that's a good, surprise. I think, there's a strong possibility that we do not take a quarterback this year. If we were to trade up for one in the first round, out of these three, who would you want? Mac Jones, Trey Lance, and Justin Fields.
Honestly, and Roger Smith asked us the good question where we should answer that after we're done this. But out of those three, I mean, it's a no-brainer. I think you said Justin Fields, Mac Jones, and Trey Lance, right?
Yep.
I think it's Justin Fields just because he has the most collegiate, experience. But at the same time, a lot of people think Trey Lance have the most upside because he, a lot isn't like. How can I put this? We already know what Justin Fields is going to be, or at least we have an idea of what Justin Fields is going to be at the next level. And it's not bad that that's the truth. We know what Trevor Lawrence is going to be at the next level. So that me saying that isn't nothing bad. But with Trey Lance, we don't know what he can be. He has so much untapped potential just because he's raw and he really doesn't have that much college experience, especially with this year getting robbed from him due to, for obvious reasons. But I think Justin Fields would be the better pick as of right now, and I think it would be the safer pick as of right now. But at the same time, it's always that player / quarterback, and since we're talking strictly for quarterback, that gets passed up on, but then makes people regret it. I mean, should I say Patrick Mahomes for one, Dak Prescott? So Trey Lance could be that quarterback, but if I'm sitting there at 19 or whatever we're going to be drafting at, and those three options are still there, I'm taking Justin Fields.
Yeah, I like Fields, and I think that's definitely possible that we trade up a few spots if he starts to slip. So let's look at Roger's question. Do you guys think that the priority is to start revamping the O-line, transforming it into a dominant line in year 2 of the rebuild? Yeah, I think a lot of people think that we're fine. We have Cornelius Lucas and that we're fine. We can go into this second year under Ron Rivera with Cornelius Lucas, and I would be okay with it, but I don't really like the people that say like there's no way we should draft the offensive lineman in the first round. I don't like that because offensive line or tackle, let's say tackle, is the second or third most important position in football behind quarterback and edge rusher. So if you can get an upgrade on that position, then I think you do it, especially when Cornelius Lucas, not very young, played in like 6 games last year, got hurt twice last year, and he's a free agent after the season. So and who knows if that play he had is sustainable. So I personally, if Christian Darrisaw is sitting there at 19, I'm definitely taking him unless some other prospect that wasn't supposed to fall. If they started to fall, Christian Darrisaw, I think, yeah, building up the offensive line, especially because who knows if Brandon Scherff is going to be here after this year. So let's say you draft Darrisaw. Now you have Sadiq Charles at guard and Wes Schweitzer at guard after Scherff leaves, if he does indeed leave. So I don't think, 100% we need to take a tackle in the first round. But if Darrisaw is there, or obviously if Slater or Sewell are there, they're not going to be there. But if they are there, I would take them. And if we take a linebacker or another defensive player, I think a tackle in the second, like Radnus or Liam Eichenberg, would be solid. Your thoughts?
Honestly, I can see both ways. It's really a preference for when you ask this question. You guys know my preference on this. I'm perfectly fine with keeping the line how it is, going back with the same five. If you think about it like this, left tackle is really the only position that's really of need, that's really stopping us from having a top 5, top 10 offensive line in the league. Because if, say, we do draft Darrisaw at 19, then even if we don't get Brandon Scherff back for the long term, we still have him on the franchise tag for at least this year. So I'm counting him as this 1 year. So you have Darrisaw left tackle. You have maybe Sadiq Charles at left guard. I don't know how that's going to play out. Or Wes Schweitzer. I don't know. Then you have Chase Roulier in center, one of the best centers in all of football. That's really underrated. Just got paid for it. Obviously, we know that. Then on the right side, you have Brandon Scherff for at least this 1 year. Then you have Morgan Moses. You can't sit here and tell me that's not a top 5, top 10 offensive line in the league. But at the same time, even with Cornelius Lucas in there, maybe they're not a top 5, top 10 offensive line in the league, but they're still at the better half of the league in the offensive line. And they proved that last year. So I would not be mad if we drafted a left tackle at 19, but that's not my preferred option because I think the offensive line is fine. But like I said, the line could be way much better if we do go Darrisaw, and I'm talking top 5, top 10 offensive line in the league. So you can have one of the best lines in the league on both sides of the ball. And we know football starts in the trenches. So
Yeah, and I think Roger in the chat said we gave up 50 sacks. I think it was less than 50. We gave up a significant amount of sacks last year, but here's why. Dwayne Haskins just ran into sacks. Out of his, 6 starts plus, 1 or 2 relief appearances, a lot of the sacks he took were not on the O-line. They were on him. And then Alex Smith, same thing. It wasn't necessarily his fault, but he just wasn't mobile after that leg injury. And a lot of the sacks, same thing. Wasn't because of the offensive line. It was because he just could not move out of the pocket. So I think that, at least 10 to 12 plus sacks were not because of the offensive line. But yeah, I still think it would be solid to upgrade that if we could. So let's see. Let's go ahead and do a quick mock draft. Let's see. We'll do a 4-rounder or 5-rounder. Let's go ahead and do this. We'll kind of let a lot of the picks be decided by the fans. So let's see. Mac Jones is still there. Okay, let's see what we do. Okay, so Devontae Smith is available. Owusu Koromoa is available. Let's see. Sergio Seven said right guard might be an underrated need, especially if we can't bring back Sheriff or maybe not even want him back due to the money. And I think we'll see. I do think Keith Ismail could be a potential guard. He could be a replacement for Sheriff. We also have Sadiq Charles, who's probably going to play left guard, and Schweitzer can play left guard, center, or right guard. So I mean, maybe, but I think we're going to be fine with this. So, a lot of people want us to take Devontae Smith, and I think that is the right pick. I don't think he's probably not going to fall here, but who knows? What are you thinking, Juan?
Yeah, but before I quickly talk about the pick, I just want to answer that about the guard being an underrated need. Yeah, that very well could be an underrated need, but in my opinion, if you let Brandon Sheriff walk, or if we don't even want him back like you said, and we still have Wes Schweitzer on at that point, will be a one more year, or yeah, one more year. If he's coming back playing like how he played last year in his very minimum starts or snaps rather, I would totally be fine with just rolling with them. But at the same time, like, this is weird with the team. Like, yeah, we have needs, but at the same time, we don't. Because, like, you can always get better. But if you just roll with your guys, like, especially with the offensive line, it's not really hurting you because you know they're really solid. So I mean, yeah, it can be an underrated need, but I would totally be fine if we just roll with Wes Schweitzer if we in fact do let Brandon Sheriff walk, or if he doesn't, want to come back. So I just wanted to say that really quickly. And for the draft, of course, we would love Devonta Smith. I'm gonna stop saying it's unrealistic only because we don't know, man. Like last year, and I don't know if outside of Justin Jefferson, if any of these wide receivers from last year's draft class is gonna be as good, or at least have the hype coming out of college as Devonta Smith. But as we know, last year the receiver position kind of got pushed back. I mean, for reasons like obviously Chase Young, Joe Burrow, just to name a few, to come off the board, they got pushed back. And Henry Ruggs was the first wide receiver off the board last year. And I'm not saying I'm not hating on Henry Ruggs, but I'm just not a big fan of Henry Ruggs. I know he's not really like the kind of receiver that I like. You know what I'm saying? I'm more of a Justin Jefferson kind of fan. I'm more of other receivers that went after him, Jerry Jeudy and stuff like that. I like those kind of receivers more. But what I essentially saying is some of these receivers, whether it's Devonta Smith, whether it's Jalen Waddle, I don't think it's going to be Jamar Chase. I think it's going to be the first receiver off the board. But somebody's going to get pushed back. So I'm going to stop saying Devonta Smith is unrealistic, but I don't think he's going to be here at 19. But it could be a small chance. So, I mean, we can go Devonta Smith if you guys want to, but I would personally, to keep it realistic, probably go JOK. But Devonta Smith, totally up with you guys.
Yeah, so I mean, let's go through the draft board. Let's go through it and see how realistic it really is. So, he's not going 1. He's not going 2. He's not going 3, 4, 5, or 6. He's not going because I don't think the Bengals take receiver. I really don't. I think it's going to be tackle. I think it'll be tackle, and if it's not tackle, I think it'll be Kyle Pitts if he's there. So I don't think the Bengals are going to take receiver. But if the Bengals do take receiver, then Devontae Smith is not falling to 19. So first receiver off the board, in my opinion, is going to be Jamar Chase at 6. And then the second receiver off the board will probably be at 7. Not a guarantee, but that's the earliest I possibly see Devontae Smith going, is the 7th overall pick to the Lions. I think it'll be Waddle or another player, but that's the earliest I see him going. After that, Panthers aren't taking a receiver. The Broncos aren't going to take a receiver, I don't think. They got Cortland Sutton. They got Jerry Jeudy, KJ Hamler. Cowboys are not taking a receiver. And then the Giants and Eagles, those are the two that it's hard to see Devontae Smith falling past both of them. That's the tough one. But if he does, then maybe, because he's not going to go 13, 14, maybe 15, not 16. I mean, it's tough to see him going there, but it's not like it's impossible. So in the chat below, go ahead and put who you want us to take, JOK, or we can go ahead and pick Devontae Smith. Go ahead and put that in the chat. Let's see.
I quickly want to answer this. Enigma RJ says Washington is getting Jordan Love and a third, and Green Bay is getting Smith at 19. I don't know if I would say that, only because I really believe that Green Bay has a plan for Jordan Love. But I also see why you may say that, because Rodgers is coming off an MVP year, obviously. So I understand what you're saying. But we don't know when he's going to retire. He can probably play for 4 or 5 more years. And then you look down later at the road that they wasted this guy's career. And I'm talking Jordan Love, because he's going to be like 20. I don't even know how old he is, but I know he's going to be like 25, 26 if Aaron Rodgers continues to play at the level that he's playing. So, like I said, but at the same time, with Green Bay, you can take risks like that when you have Aaron Rodgers as your quarterback. You can mess around and draft a quarterback in the first, second round when you have a guy like Aaron Rodgers under him and not be affected by it, because you know you're still going to be a top team in the NFL. So, I mean, I could see it happening, but I don't think it's going to. I think they have a plan for Aaron Rodgers and Jordan Love, and I think he's going to be their future quarterback.
Yeah, so we'll go ahead. A lot of people are saying JOK, so we'll take him. And Roger said never draft the receiver running back in the first. I I somewhat agree. I do not like drafting receivers or running backs in the first, but where I do disagree is first, I mean, if you're in the late first and there's a running back you really like and you're a Super Bowl team and that's really the position that's your biggest need, then okay, that's fine to do. Receiver, I'm fine with taking elite receiver prospects. And Devontae Smith, Jamar Chase, Jalen Waddle, they are all elite wide receiver prospects. All of those guys probably would have been the first receiver taken last year, maybe second. Last year's class was pretty good too. Most years, all three of these guys would be probably the first receiver off the board. Devontae Smith is an elite receiver prospect. I'm fine if we do end up taking him. But I do agree with your premise. Like, receiver is the lowest hit rate out of any of the positions in the first round. Like you said, 2019 is a perfect example where the Pats took N'Keal Harry, the Ravens took Hollywood Brown, and then in the second you got DK Metcalf, Paris Campbell, AJ Brown. In the third you got Terry McLaurin. So yeah, I somewhat understand, but I think that if there's an elite receiver prospect there, and there's no one else you like better than him, then you take the elite receiver prospect. So we'll go ahead and take Jeremiah Wusu-Koromo. A lot of people, I think that was the pick that was most voted for. And yeah, go ahead, Brian, put Juan's link in there. Make sure you guys go ahead and sub him up. So let's go ahead and see. So, wow, Elijah Vera Tucker still available. That's not going to happen, but pretty interesting right there. So, yeah, we're 5 days away from the draft. Can't wait. Juan's going to be live streaming the first round. I don't think I'm going to be live streaming the first round. I think I'm just going to enjoy the first round and watch, and maybe I'll live stream day 2 or day 3. So let's see. Okay. So second round, the best player, Creed Humphrey. That's the best player available. Interior offensive lineman out of Oklahoma. We got Wyatt Davis also available. Jamar Johnson available. Javon Holland available. I like Holland. I really, really like Javon Holland because I think he's a great safety prospect. But also, I think he can return punts for you, which we definitely need. So, Juan, what do you think here we should do? And also in the chat, go ahead and put that too.
I'm thinking because like lineman, we could go lineman here, but you guys know me. I keep referring this to. I'm fine with the same 5 guys if we do go out there with them in day 1. But if we do take a lineman here, I would not be mad. Probably let's see the quarterbacks just to see who's there. I'm not sure if what we're looking. I mean, Davis Mills is still there, so I mean we could take him if we want. But like I said, I don't know if Washington is going to be looking for a quarterback after the first round. So I'm not sure. This you can go so many play options with it. You can go tight end, lineman, quarterback. I think if it's up to me, I would go QB just to be safe because Davis Mills, a lot of people like him, but obviously the injuries is a concern. But then Kellen Mond doesn't really have the experience. He has the experience, my bad, but he doesn't really have that much upside in the NFL as one Davis Mills. So I mean, we can go Davis Mills or Kellen Mond if you guys want to, but if you guys want to go lineman, that's cool with me. But if it was up to me, I would just go quarterback here just to be safe. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I really like Mills. I don't know if I like him enough to go in the second. It's tough. It's just the thing I don't like about drafting him in the second. It's like you're kind of put in a weird situation to where like he sits behind Fitzpatrick for a year, and then you're in that situation next year. Let's say you take another step. Let's say you win like 9, 10 plus games with Fitzpatrick. You make the playoffs, and Mills still isn't necessarily ready. Like, do you bring Fitzpatrick back? Do you get a quarterback in the first round next year? Do you get a big time free agent? It just puts you in a weird spot. I would be okay with it though, but I just don't know. Yeah, it's tough.
I
So
mean,
let's
well,
yeah, go
my
ahead.
bad. But I was about to say, if it was up to me, like I said, I wouldn't mind taking Davis Mills. I mean, I would prefer Kellen Mond over Davis Mills only because his injury concerns really scare me. I mean, he had 2 ACL injuries in college. I do think Davis Mills is the overall better quarterback coming out of college. But Kellen Mond, Kellen Mond or Davis Mills, you can't go wrong here. But I mean, I do agree that it might be a little bit of a reach in the second round. But I mean, some mock drafts, people think if this was another draft class where the quarterback position wasn't as strong, people think Davis Mills could be a late round pick in the first round. And other mock drafts believe that the Patriots are interested in selecting Kellen Mond at 14 or 15, wherever they are, 15. I highly doubt that happens. I believe that's a reach. But once again, teams like the Patriots, you can do stuff like that. Take guys like Kellen Mond in the first round, even though it might be a reach.
All right, so I'll give you guys some options. So first, let's go positions. So in the chat below, quarterback, safety. Let's see, quarterback, safety, O line, and cornerback. What position would you want us to take? We already took a linebacker in the first. These are the cornerbacks available. Let's go to the QBs, and I'll go to the safeties. And Creed Humphrey is available, and he's the best overall player available in the draft, I think. So let's see. Yeah, he's the best player available. So let's see what the people want. Give me a second.
A lot of people are saying Mond.
A lot of people want Mond. I would not take Mond in the second, but that's just me. We'll take him because that's what the people want. But I personally would not take Mond in the second, and I'm starting to shy away from Davis Mills in the second. And I know that's where they're probably ultimately gonna go. I think Davis Mills and Kellen Mond, or one of those two, will be picked in the second round, in my opinion. But for me, I rather not go second round because you can get a really, really good starting player in the second round, and who knows? The quarterback could be the answer, but I just don't know. So we'll go ahead and take Mond, even though that just personally for me, I would not do that. But most people want to take Mond, so we'll go ahead and take him. Let's see. All right. Let's see what we got in the third. Mills is still available. So that's what we could have done. We could have picked someone in the second round and then got Mills or Mond in the third because they probably were going to be available. Let's see. Right here, could go Brevin Jordan. Let's see. I think tight end could be the pick here. Let's see what the safeties are. Richie Grant available. So we could go Richie Grant. We could go Brevin Jordan. Yeah, let's pick it between those two. What do you think, Juan?
Me personally, I would go Reverend Jordan because, like I said, I believe that tight end is a bigger need than safety, but safety is still a need. But I just like Reverend Jordan. Like I said, I don't think he's like Kyle Pitts as far as a generational talent. But if Kyle Pitts had to have be compared to his counterparts in this draft, he's the closest thing to it. So I would go Reverend Jordan. I think he's better than Tommy Tremble, at least at this point. And prospects and coming into the league first year.
Yeah, so let's see. Mr. Ron B said we shouldn't pick a QB before round 3. I probably agree with you unless we really really like a prospect. I agree with you. Let's see. Too many good players to pick a QB in the second. We're not that desperate yet. We look for a QB in every draft. Okay, so a lot of people like Jordan right here. Tommy Trumbull is not available. Someone asked about that. So let's go ahead and we'll take Brevin Jordan. And I mean, I'm at this point right now where I almost rather trade up than get a quarterback in the second or third. If I'm not trading up into the top 7, but if someone starts to slip like 8, 9, and later, then I would be okay. I would be okay with doing it. Let's see. So we'll go ahead and take Jordan right here. I think some people said that, and I agree. I think Jordan would be a good pick here. Second best player available at a position of need. So now we pick again at 82. And who knows, Richie Grant could be available. But I do not think he is. Let's see who picked him. Richie Grant by the Vikings. And yeah, in the comments, make sure you guys go ahead and put who you want to take. Let's see. Okay, so right here, we're in an interesting situation. We could go Amon-Ra St. Brown from USC. Really good receiver prospect. We still haven't picked an offensive lineman. I want to see the best tackles available. I think Jackson Carman. I like Spencer Brown here in the third. I think that's good value. I want to see what other players are available. Walker Little. Wow, they have him ranked super low. Wow. So what do you think we should do here, Juan?
I mean, I wouldn't mind going receiver here. But I don't know if anyone is worth taking here. I don't know because I like Amon-Ra St. Brown, but after that, I'm not really too fond of the batch. We could go tackle here. It will be a perfect spot to take a tackle right here or safety. Up to you guys. But if it was up to me, I would probably go tackle to be safe.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think tackle is definitely the pick right here, especially after our first few picks. We went linebacker, then quarterback, then tight end. I think we got to get a tackle with some upside. I like Spencer Brown. Walker Little is good as well, but I honestly think he's going to start to fall. A lot of people have had him projected in like the second. I think he might be like a late third round pick. So let's go ahead and take Spencer Brown. Really like him out of Northern Iowa. I'm pretty sure he's like 6'8" plus. So he's athletic freak. So let's see. We're doing a couple more selections right here. Let's go to best players available. And I actually, in the comments below, give me your bold prediction for this year's draft. Could be really, it could be any team or it could be Washington football team, but give me your bold prediction. Juan, do you have one or no?
For like the whole draft or just
Yeah, it doesn't have to be Washington. It could be Washington or it could be another team.
I don't know. I feel like because I mean I plan or not plan, but I think something shocking is gonna happen. But for the most part, I think the draft is gonna go according to plan. Trevor Wilson. I don't know. That's tricky because the 49ers, I think they're not going. I don't think they're going to take Mac Jones, but I could see it happening. I think Fields might go there. I think honestly the fourth pick, the Falcons, is when the draft officially starts. So I think you can see them trading out. That could be a bold prediction, but I really don't have one because I think that it's going to go according to plan. I think Washington is going to probably select the left tackle at 19, although that's not what I want to do. I'm totally okay with it. So I think, in my opinion, everything is going to go according to plan.
Yes, Peyton the Great said Washington is going to trade down and trade away Landon Collins. Yeah, I mean, we'll see if we could get anything for Landon Collins, like a mid-round pick. I would definitely do it, especially with the emergence of Cameron Curl. And I guess my bold prediction, I don't really think it's a bold one, because I think it's a bold one amongst like NFL fans, but not like I think Mac Jones will be the pick at 3. A lot of people are saying, like the media is saying it's going to be Jones, but all of the fans, like all of these NFL fans, can't come to grips with it, and they all like, especially the 49er fans, everyone thinks it's going to be Justin Fields or Trey Lance. At least the NFL fans. I think it's going to be Mac Jones, just because like there is no really motivation for like the 49ers to be throwing out these huge smoke screens, because they're picking at 3. We all know who's picking at 1. Or who's going to be picked at 1. We all know who's getting picked at 2. So they know who they're picking at 3, and really nothing's going to change it. No one's going to be able to trade into the top 2. Maybe they're just doing it to be safe, but I think it's going to be Mac Jones. I don't think that's the right choice. It's really would be a bad choice in my opinion, because I mean, you already have Jimmy G, he's not great, but he's a solid starter. He's a solid starter. They went to the Super Bowl with him. They went to the Super Bowl with him, and you're getting a guy who, sure, he could be good, but he has the lowest ceiling. He has the lowest ceiling out of any of the first 5 quarterbacks, in my opinion. And I just don't know why they would do it, but we'll see. I just think it is going to be Mac Jones. I think that's what the type of quarterback, I guess, Kyle Shanahan likes, and a bunch of like the former players that played under him and know the scheme and stuff think it is going to be Mac Jones. Like Chris Cooley thinks it's going to be Mac Jones. Chris Sims thinks it's going to be Mac Jones. So we'll see. I mean, this isn't Washington related, but what do you feel about that? Like, if you were the 49ers, what would you do?
I'm taking Trey Lance or Justin Fields. Like I said, I probably would lean more towards Justin Fields. I just think Mac Jones is literally Jimmy Garoppolo like already, but at the same time, Kyle Shanahan loved Kirk Cousins. I mean, like we said, when we had Kirk Cousins, it was rumors that they wanted to trade a first round pick for Kirk Cousins. So they want Kirk Cousins in San Francisco. I think you already have that. I mean, no, let me take that back, because I think Kirk Cousins blows Jimmy G out the water in talent. But I think Mac Jones' comparison is Kirk Cousins, and I believe that's what Kyle Shanahan wants. But I think the smarter pick would be Justin Fields. Yeah, I think you're muted, Pedro.
My bad. So what do you guys think about here in the 4th round? And what's up, Christian? What position one do you think we got to draft here? I mean, we already drafted a tackle, a linebacker, a tight end, and a quarterback. I guess what remains is receiver, safety, cornerback. What do you think?
Yeah, I think we should go receiver, and he on I don't know how you pronounce it. I'm sorry if I said it wrong. I don't know. He asked the good questions. I think we should answer that. But I think receiver would be a good pick here, just because it's not really too many positions of need here. But also, guys, a guy right there, the best player available still, Jalen Twyman, and inside defensive lineman. Interior defensive lineman rather. He's from PG County, from Maryland, and he's really, really good. He rocked the 99 like Aaron Donald, went to Pitt, and I believe he knocked out 40 on the bench press. He had a really impressive pro day. So I would be surprised a little bit because we have obviously a good interior defensive line. But I would not be mad if we actually take him. I'm telling you guys, this dude has a bunch of upside, and he could really be slept on and interior defensive lineman that really breaks out when he gets drafted. So if we do go interior defensive lineman here, like in real life, I don't think we're going to do it now. But if we did it, I wouldn't be mad. Don't be surprised by it. But I think we should go
Yeah,
receive.
it wouldn't be a bad option at all. So on O said, would you trade up for Micah Parsons if he fell? So I would not trade up into the top 10, but the earliest I would trade up is to 13. I think that's a little too early for me, but if he starts slipping past 13, like 14, 15 or later, I would do it. Just no way I'm doing it in the top 10 because you're giving up this year's first plus another first to move up for a linebacker. I'm willing to move up a few spots, but nothing more than that. How about you?
Yeah, I'm saying I think the earliest I would trade up for would probably be 14. For Michael Parsons if he does in fact slip. Don't think it's gonna happen. I look past all the character issues. I think teams are just saying that so the other team that's interested in getting him, they could be like, hey man, I want him off my board. So then they could come up and try to get him. I don't think it's anything wrong with his character issues. Now I could be wrong because you see guys like Darius Geis, but at the same time, guys had issues coming out of college and they ultimately turned out to be true. So I think Parsons is not going to fall past. Let me think. I don't know. Actually, I don't know what team's going to go to. I think a mock draft had him either going to Carolina or Detroit. I don't see him falling past 10 though.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. So, chat, what do you guys think? What position do we take here? Could be, interior, or it could be a defensive lineman. Might be a little bit too early, but if there's someone, like you said, if there's someone they really like here, that they have like graded as like a third rounder, then I definitely wouldn't be opposed to it. I mean, linebacker here would not be a bad option. I know we took Jeremiah Uso-Koromoa earlier, but like I wouldn't be upset if we got another linebacker because the only like Cole Holcomb is the only linebacker I love on our roster. We lost KPL, Bostic. I don't really like Bostic that much. What do you think? And shout out to Armin Brown. I appreciate that. So what do you think?
Yeah, I totally agree. I wouldn't be mad if they doubled up at linebacker. I mean, we lost KPL, and he was good for us. Let me be honest, he was good for us, but we do need to replace him. And we also do need a middle linebacker. I mean, I know Cole Holcomb can hold it down and whatnot. Chris Cooley is a big advocate of Cole Holcomb playing the Mike linebacker, which we know he can play. In fact, he can play anywhere. Will, Mike, Sam, whatever you need Cole to play, he can play it. But I think it would be cool to draft a true middle linebacker. And then also, if we do want to double up, we can double up and get another linebacker. Nick Bolton, good point out on O. He led the SEC in tackles. I keep bringing up that stat because that is very important, especially coming to the next level of football. You need to know how to tackle. You need to not be afraid to tackle. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead up with the running back. Get to the quarterback, make sacks and stuff like that. So Nick Bolton would not be a bad option here if we do want to double up at the linebacker position.
Yeah, I think Nick Bolton will be gone, though. I think he's going to be gone by, like, probably in the second or third round, but who knows, could fall. So we'll go ahead and take best linebacker available, Derek Barnes out of Purdue, and we'll go to our fifth round pick, and we'll wrap it up after this mock drafts. After the fifth round, we'll answer a few questions and then call it a stream. So I appreciate all the support. And yeah, this week is going to be crazy. We got the draft on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, so should be extremely fun. I'll have videos out for every single pick we do. We got a first rounder, second rounder, third round, two third rounders, fourth rounder, fifth rounder, no sixth, and two seventh. So going to be a fun 3 days, and it's going to be a busy day, especially on day 2 where we have 3 picks in 2 rounds. That's going to be where we have to win the draft. I mean, those 3 picks right there could be 3 starters for us in the future. So got to hit on at least 2 out of those 3. So let's go look at what we can do in the 5th round right here. So could be edge right here. I like Chuba Hubbard out of Oklahoma State. I think he's the best player available, and I know 5th is a little early for a running back, but I really like Chuba Hubbard. I think he's like, I'm not sure what his height is, but I think he's around 200, like 7-8 pounds. I like him. I think running back would be good. What do you think?
I wouldn't be mad at running back. I mean, I don't think it's a need because I like AG, obviously, stud. JD, solid last year. Well, actually, tremendous last year. Peyton Barber, I like him as a short yardage running back, but you can always upgrade over guys like that. So I wouldn't be mad at Chuba Hubbard here.
Yeah, so we'll go ahead and take him. And I really quickly want to talk about something that I was thinking about the other day. And it was like, it's not really like not a knock or anything on Ron, but I'm just saying, like, I want Ron this offseason or next offseason. I want him to extend one of the guys. Like, I need it to happen because he's talked about it. Like, he wants to bring back these guys in the past, whether it's been Sheriff, Allen, and other players, Darby as well, KPL. And I don't really care about those too much because KPL wasn't a huge contributor. And we upgraded. We upgraded on Darby. But I think, last year, I think Sheriff, we got, like, we we didn't end up paying him, and I think that's fine. But I need to. We have a lot of players this year that are going to be free agents, some key players, and I would like us to maybe get some extensions going. If you like Allen or Payne, I think we can get a extension done with one of them this off season because Payne's got that 5th-year option, so you can get a contract done with Payne this off season or Allen. And Logan Thomas is a free agent after this year. J.D. McKissick is a free agent. So I really hope Ron can keep one of these guys, back before the season starts. I don't need to see him, re-sign all of these guys, but at least one of them, I personally would like that to happen. What do you think?
Yeah, obviously, we want some of our guys back. Big John, I would not mind having back, but would rather much pay Deron Payne over Jonathan Allen if we in fact had to pick one. But if we could somehow, keep our line intact on the defensive side of the ball, I would love it to happen. But I don't think it's going to because it's just not enough money to go around with everyone. At least because you have to pay Chase Young in a couple years. That big money. I'm talking a lot of money, like a lot of money for Chase Young. You have to hopefully pay Montez Sweat. Once again, you have a dilemma there because I don't know if we're going to be able to, pay both of those guys their money, their fair share, because unless someone is willing to take a team-friendly deal, which Chase Young seems like the kind of guy to want to take a team-friendly deal. I mean, this guy has a Washington chain, and he wears it faithfully. So that should just show you that he's willing to do whatever it takes for this team to win, and he loves this team. Sheriff, on the other hand, I kind of agree with a lot of people that want to move on from him, but at the same time, we know he's an all-pro guard. We know what we get out of Brandon Sheriff: 6 games, and he's hurt. Then he comes back for 3 more. So I wouldn't be mad if we moved on from him, but I wouldn't be mad if we do pay him. I don't think it's going. I don't know, honestly, at this point. I don't know what's going to happen with Sheriff. I'm not counting on Sheriff coming back next year. I just feel like if we can't get to a long-term deal by July, I just don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah, I don't think Sheriff's going to be back after this season, which is unfortunate. Could have paid him a couple years ago, with when Bruce Allen was here. Could have gotten like a 4 to 5 year deal worth like 14 million a year. Could have done that a few years ago or a couple years ago. Didn't end up doing it. I need some of our guys to be back. Whether it's J.D. McKissick, Logan Thomas, Deron Payne, Jonathan Allen, it would be good to lock one of those guys down, even Sheriff, for a long-term extension. So that's gonna wrap it up for the stream. We'll answer if you guys have any questions, like 1 or 2 more. But that's gonna be it. What's up, Hawk? Appreciate you coming in. The stream. Sergio7 said Bruce Allen really still screwing us even after he. Yep. And what's like, man, Bruce Allen, we could have gotten probably a first for Trent Williams in the summer that he demanded the trade. And it was reported, like confirmed by Ian Rapport, that we could have gotten like a second plus like a third for Trent Williams at the trade deadline. But we didn't end up doing it. We carried it over into the offseason, only got a third and a fifth, which, still it's nice to have, but much I would have much rather had a second and a third round pick we would have had last season or even this year. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is. Bruce Allen is still screwing us over. Could have had, and if we would have traded Kirk Cousins to the 49ers, could have had that second overall pick. And yeah, it's just unfortunate. So yeah, I'm gonna call it a day right here. Appreciate Juan coming on the channel. Make sure you guys subscribe to him and make sure to watch the video that the mock draft we made, and it's gonna come out on like probably Monday, Juan said. So appreciate having you on, Juan.
Hey, thank you. As always, man, I'm down to come on anytime. And shout out to Hulk. He said what's up to both of us. Shout out to you, Hulk. Appreciate everyone for watching today's stream. It was a lot of fun doing this, and I can't wait for the draft. Like Pedro said, we have a video coming out on my channel this week. Make sure you guys go on my community tab and comment who you think we took at 19. And yeah, man, I really appreciate you for having me on. Can't wait for Thursday, man. I'm so excited. As you guys know, I will be streaming the whole entire run as I did last year. So can't wait for the draft and hope to see you guys in my stream this Thursday. And thank you for having me on again.
Yep, no problem. Like I said, make sure you guys subscribe to him, checked out the video we have on Monday, and watch his live stream on Thursday. Gonna be fun. Appreciate all you guys for coming in. Armin Brown, Hood Patrol, Roger, Hawk, Mr. Ron, Armin, everyone who came in. So appreciate you guys for coming in, and peace, guys.